a perfect 2 for 2 down the hill. What makes her so efficient on this downhill course?
You know, she's got a really good turn of foot. A mile she can get, but her turn of foot isn't quite as explosive. And for some reason here, the speed tends to run away from her a little bit, and it sets it up just a little bit better.
You employ several different trainers with Eclipse Thoroughbreds. Why particularly Simon for this filly?
You know, Simon's come over here. He's a young kid that's proven he can win big races, particularly with European imports, and that's sort of what our focus has been with him.
Several workouts this morning, especially for Todd Pletcher. Could you take us through a couple of those workouts? We'll start with Tara from the Cape.
Sure, yeah. Tara from the Cape is a prospect for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Filly Turf. She worked in company with In Lingerie. They both went a half in company on the turf this morning, and I thought it went really well. It was a little chest drive for In Lingerie to see how she handled the turf, and both Todd and I were very pleased with the way she got through it. So we were encouraged.
When will a decision be made on which race In Lingerie goes in?
You know, we're going to cross-enter in the Ladies' Classic and the Filly and Mare Turf and just sort of see how the week goes. She'll breeze again, hopefully next Saturday on the turf, and we'll take it from there.
Capo Bastoni with trainer John Sadler, an up-and-coming young horse. How did he go this morning?
He went really well. We were very pleased with his work. It was definitely the most professional we've seen him, and he gives us the impression that he's coming right at the right time. So we're hopeful that we could keep him good for another 2 weeks.
Thanks for your time, and best of luck in here with Bairama.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
You know, we're still waiting for that breakout race from Capo Bastoni. As impressive as he was when he broke his maiden, couldn't quite put it all together, bottled up on the rail in the Del Mar Futurity. He didn't accelerate late like I think we thought we would see him in the front runner here at Santa Anita. And maybe he puts it all together at just the right time for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. And again, he has that home court advantage thing working for him as well.
Yeah, I know he's certainly training well, and he was catching a track and the front runner that wasn't conducive to his late running style. I think the track probably is a lot more even and fair now than it was early in the meeting. So he's going to have every chance, but another race it's going to be really, really tough.
I know Gary Young, private clocker, but also involved with the purchase for Capo Bastoni, so we wouldn't call it an objective opinion, but he's going to tell you one way or the other, and I know he was extremely enthusiastic about Capo Bastoni's last 2 works gearing up for the juvenile.
I'm going to take his word for it, because it's either that or get up here at 5:30 in the morning to watch it myself. So, Gary, whatever you say is good enough for me.
The Eclipse Thoroughbreds, Capo Bastoni, and Bairama, who you just saw, who is the 2-to-1 favorite for the Senator Ken Maddy Stakes. We saw Brecat. Now, Miss Matagong, Mario Gutierrez riding for Ben Cecil. Winless this year and just 3 for 20 overall, but she's got some form way back that could maybe land her in the frame at a big price, 21-1. And Kindle, respect her speed.
This is the thing about this lightly raced daughter of Indian Charlie. She looks like, from that outside draw, that she has a chance to make the running. And if she can get clear early, she just might keep going. She's a quality filly, but she's never really been tested at this level. She did, however, win a race at Pomona, a stake race.
All right, so that's the field for the Grade 3 Senator Ken Maddy. And this was a scene a season ago. Broken Dreams for the Glen Hill Farm, attacking from well off the pace as she tries to defend her title in this very event.
Yeah, this is a race that's also producing Javine, who was actually second in this race. And so these 2 fillies back for more. And this will show you that Broken Dreams can sprint. She is a good late-running sprinter. He's here come through inside and win very nicely. And she's been running long, but I think like Bairama, she might be more effective where she can settle behind a fast pace and then quicken in the final quarter and produce a shorter run than she has to when she runs a little farther.
Has that route to sprint angle you follow working for her, does Broken Dreams, and there she is in the Glen Hill colors. For Garrett Gomez, current co-second choice in the wagering at 3-1. And for Bairama, do you expect her to get the same kind of trip today as she did in the Unzip Me? What kind of setup do you think she'll get in terms of enhancing or working against her closing style.
Well, she got all kinds of fractions in that. It was a perfect setup for her. They went 21-143 flat. And for a late-running sprinter like Bayrama, this is exactly what she wants. She was able to sit off the pace. She was able to angle wide in the clear and then respond late in the final furlong. I really seriously doubt, though, that she's going to see those kinds of fractions in this race. There just simply does not appear to be the kind of early speed here that there was in the Unzip Me. That doesn't mean, though, that Bayrama can't win. She's just going to have to lay a little closer.
Is she versatile enough to lay closer and be just as explosive
yes,
late?
I think so. I think she can.
Bayrama with Rafael Bejarano. 2-1 for this Senator Ken Maddy Stakes, and we touched on Kindle. Pedigree check, making her first start on grass as she bred to improve over the weeds.
Well, Indian Charlie's will run on anything, that's for sure, and he's by In Excess, and In Excess himself was a horse who could run on anything, and he was by Siberian Express. It was strictly a turf horse.
And now you're just showing off.
That's right. You gave me the opportunity, and I took the ball. Kindle, however, from that outside box, I don't necessarily think the course is going to get her beat, because I think she'll handle it. It's just a matter of how much pressure she's going to get. Now, she has won under pressure, not against this level, but she's only had the 6 starts, and she's got a bullet work over at Hollywood since her win at Pomona, so she's obviously doing very well. She won for this rider, and she showed at Pomona where if you give her a length and a half or two early on, she might not come back.
A victory in this Ken Maddy Stakes for Gary Mandela. Maybe it would be the start of a Mano Mandela of a couple of weeks.
Yeah, well, yeah, for sure. You know, I mean, I know Richard's got a 3 or 4 of them, and that certainly look like they have chances in their respective divisions.
The first Breeders' Cup race of the year. We'll see his super quick filly, it sounds like, Beholder, along with Kawhi Katie taking on the boys in the second juvenile sprint.
Yeah. Oh, we should say the boys are taking on them.
One or the
because
other,
those
right?
are the 2 favorites, I think, right now. Yeah, so that'll be that. It'd be nice to see Gary win a stake here, and he certainly has a legitimate chance with Kindle. I was kind of kidding.
Late
Gary.
money showing up. Kindle's now the favorite at 2-1.
I was kidding Gary. I said, Gary, you shipped this horse up the Golden Gate first time out. You didn't tell anybody, and she won. He said, she was even money. I said, I don't care. I don't care if she's even money or 100-1. I want to know.
Kindle, 2-1 favorite. Is this how much will this surprise you if they spring the latch, they run the race, and she's actually favored over Bayrama for this Ken Maddy?
A little bit. It is going to be a little bit surprising, but I think trip handicappers or handicappers who are looking at this race and trying to envision how it's going to be run can obviously see the advantage that Kindle on paper seems to have. But on the other hand, Bayrama's dropping 7 pounds off her win in the Unzip Me, and you got to think that even though she had fractions to run at in that race, even though there may not be quite the quick pace that she is used to seeing, she'll draft in somewhere in the middle, and she can, for an eighth of a mile, she can really turn it on.
Kindle now behind the starting gate. It is post time for the Grade 3 $100,000 Senator Ken Maddy Stakes. Live from Santa Anita, here's Trevor Denman.
Now here's Kindle. Goes in, they're all set. And away they go to a good beginning. Kindle got a flyer from the outside gate, and Kindle sprints away early on. Miss Mittagong goes up to race in second. 9th Infantry's right there. Broken Dream shooting through on the inside. Javine is a close-up 5th, pretty keen to go on. Then we drop back to Tadaro, who's now 6 lengths off the leaders, but making ground. Breecat is second last, and Brianna the early trailer. Down the hill they come now, and Kindle still well clear. Kindle couldn't have been going any quicker. Has opened up 4. Broken Dreams is in second. Taroda along the inside. Miss Mittagong is in that group as well now as they try to close the gap on that leader. Javine races on her own back in 6th. 9th Infantry in there too. Then comes Bree Cat, and still at the back we have Bayrama. They are taking closer order except for this leader, Kindle, who's still well clear. And Kindle now, no turning back. Kindle in front by 5 as they turn for home. Broken Dreams to Rhoda, 9th Infantry. Javine by Rama now hooking to the outside and coming home gamely, but Kindle clear. Kindle as well clear. Broken Dreams and by Rama finishing strongly. A 16th to go. Kindle digs deep, finds more. Broken Dreams catching on the outside. Kindle, Broken Dreams getting desperate. Broken Dreams got up. Broken Dreams, Kindle by Rama finishing strongly for third, and Javine was fourth.
The defending champ defends her title in desperate fashion. Broken Dreams picking off Kindle in the shadow of the wire of the 2012 Senator Ken Maddy Stakes.
Boy, Kindle really set fast fraction. She kind of tore out there out of the gate, and she went fast every step of the way. She did not give herself a breather, even though she was clear. She's not the kind of filly, obviously, that you can take a hold of. She just has to kind of open up and hang on. And here at the 8th pole, it looked like she was going strong enough, but you can see Broken Dreams. And then from the far outside, Bayrama is flying. And still in the 70-yard pole, you've got Kindle in front by 2.5, but that was it for her as Broken Dreams goes on by. And I think maybe Kindle might have saved second, but Broken Dreams, 2 in a row in this race. She is a good late-running sprinter. This is what she wants to do.
A heartbreaker for our colleague Gary Mandela, but a big win for the Glen Hill Farm and Broken Dreams. Back-to-back wins in the Senator Ken Maddy. On White presenting the trophy or the hardware or the glassware to the winning connections for this Senator Ken Maddy Stakes. Now, last year, Jeff, Broken Dreams parlayed a victory in the Senator Ken Maddy to an appearance in the Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint. However, the schedule and the racing calendar is a little different. There was a much bigger window in between races last year than there is this season.
Yeah, and she also ran 13th to 14th last year, too, so I don't think they'll try that.
Oh, yeah, that.
That, too, yeah, just 2 weeks. And this is her level, and the edge that she had over Bayrama is that she was a lot closer to the pace than Bayrama, who was last crossing the dirt. So Bayrama giving a lot to do and did finish well, but ends up third, whereas Broken Dreams wears down Kindle. Kindle was actually, I think she kind of beat herself, Lafitte. She was clearly the lone speed in the race, and yet she still tore off and went 42 in small change. She just wouldn't drop her head early on. She just kind of ran as far as she could, as fast as she could.
Broken Dreams, back-to-back wins in the Ken Maddy. Tom Proctor, Garrett Gomez in the winner's circle, standing by with Zoe Cadman.